What's up, guys? This is your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we're finally going to get on the bike. We're going to go ahead and start working on it a little bit at a time till we get to the point where we work on the motor. So let us go and show you guys what we got, and let's get into it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys have not seen my stuff, please go down, like and subscribe and check it out. And thank you for all your love and support. And Happy New Year to the ones who have not seen any of my other videos. Happy New Year 2024. We're starting on something new. We're starting on the bike. We are going to be getting into it. We're going to start working on it. We're going to go ahead and start taking some stuff apart, getting it ready so we can get down to the motor part. But I want to show you guys the bike if you have not seen the other videos. So let's go look at the bike. Okay, guys, so this is my used 2008 SYM RV250. So as you see, RV250. So this is the motor. Sorry about the light. This is all the way down at the other end. But as you see, this is what it looks like. It was a little dirty, but it's not too bad. But we cleaned it up as best as we can get it. The stuff has been on there for a while, so we got what we can get. But we may come back later and spray it black. You know, tape it off and spray it black. But this is the motor. It's a 250 motor. So what we need to do is we need to do a fluid check before we start ripping it apart. So we need to do a fluid check, make sure there's coolant, make sure there's oil, because we need to drain all that. We don't have to drain the oil, but I'm going to change the oil because when I went to go look at it, when I got this bike, it was overfilled. So we're going to drain it out, make sure there's no metal flakes in there or anything like that we can see, because there is a issue with the motor. So down here, the piston, I think it's got a hole in it. So hopefully the metal didn't get through, but we'll clear it out in the oil, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll drain the coolant as well. Take a look at some stuff. We're going to look at some of the air boxes and the belts, and just kind of go and do a look over before we start tearing it apart. We really don't have to tear that apart, but I want to look at it, see how the condition is, if we need to order anything, new filter, new belt, or whatever. Just want to do a check over to make sure everything is good, and then we need to check the gas later, make sure it'll turn over and run. Then we need to top off the coolant later after we get the piston changed out, or figure out how we're going to get the piston changed out and everything. So my goal is to try to get this motor replaced inside the motor. I think most videos I've seen people taking them apart and pull them out and then work on them and then put them back in. Since it's just me, I'm going to try and see if I can tackle this thing without taking it out. But I want to make sure the piston moves up and down by hand compressing it. You know, turning the crank and just making sure that it moves smoothly. And then once we do that, we'll start physically starting to get this thing torn apart. This is kind of like a 50cc. When I used to do my 50cc motor up, this is kind of the same thing. The only difference is that is, one, it's bigger, and two, it's got coolant running in the top part up here. So you see that line? So you see this line right here? That's the coolant line, I believe. That's where the coolant goes, because there's a thermostat indicator there and the hose, and then there's a pump on the side where it actually drains out the fluid. So we're going to check all that, make sure the oil is good, the fluid's good, you name it, we're going to do it. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. Alright guys, so now we're going to get this blue stuff off. So hopefully this Phillips head will do the trick. I knew we were eventually going to have to get these off eventually. I just didn't think it was going to be the first thing that we were going to have to do. So right now we're going to get these off here. I open those, you open those up like that, and you just hit the button to spring them back. If you hit the button, it should spring out, but that's okay. We'll grease them up later. Alright. Screw out. We were going to have to do this eventually anyway. We're just doing it now because we need to get to this cover, and there's a nut right here. So we're gonna go ahead and start commencing these off. There's another one here. I'm gonna go ahead and get this metal piece off here. There might be a hidden bolt or screw that's holding it down. Like I said, we were gonna take these off anyway, but I wasn't thinking I was gonna have to do them right now. But in order to get that cover off, looks like that's my plan. So we're gonna repaint. We're gonna repaint all that. All this is gonna get back black. We're gonna have to tape it up and spray it, but we're gonna shine it. But we're definitely gonna get it back to its original black cover. Try to take it all off and just get some plastic spray, and then clean it up, and then get it all off and get it taken care of. All right. We got some bolts here. So we got some bolts up here, here, and then here. Looks like there could be 10s. So let's see. 10's always a good number. 10 is the number. So, alright. I could use, power tools, but just starting out, I'd rather go ahead and just use hand tools for right now, just until we get everything kind of situated the right way, and then we can kind of go from there. Because the power tools, they're going to come off whether you want them to or not. So we just don't want to start breaking them off right away. But we may work with that just because it's easier to get them off and faster. By hand is great, but sometimes power tools are the better way. Alright, so this should just come out, hopefully. I'm not missing any screws. I may. Oh, it's all one piece. Okay, no problem. Oh, just lost the broken piece of that little hatch thing. Okay. Looks like it's all one piece. Oh, I get it. It is all one piece. Okay, so I guess we are going to actually, we have to take this off, because it looks like it's all going to come off one big piece. I don't feel anything holding it down. Yeah, it looks like it's all going to come off in one big gigantic piece, I guess. Not quite for sure. I don't want to break anything trying to get it off. But alright, well, we'll figure this out and we'll come right back. Okay guys, so we are working getting this off. I got the blue parts off. They just slide off. Right now I'm working on getting this cover off to get this off, because if I can get this gray part off, I don't need to take this blue part off. I can get to the motor, I can see the tank, I can see everything that I need to work on. So this part can stay. So right now we're really trying to work on getting this gray part stuff off. So here's all our parts that we got so far. Then we got this cover off here. We got the blue part off there. Like I said, we're just trying to get this off. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get everything from here over, and there's a bunch of screws, which they're right there. They're all over. There's like 2 here, 1 here, 1 there, 2 there, and then there's 1 here, and then inside there's a nut, and then there's a nut right here, and then it should come out because everything else is all bolted and all taken off here. They just got to snap off these little snaps, then we should be good. So let's get this off and then we'll come right. Okay guys, so we are making some major progress. I decided to go ahead and take this top off because I watched some videos and I found out that in order to get this off, all of this has got to come off in the front. And that's okay too, because we need to clean these headlights and everything. So we're gonna take this whole entire front end off, and then we're gonna leave the fender, but we're gonna take this whole entire piece off, and then hopefully this plastic will come with it, and then we can make it easier to get to this. I really don't want to take this off the bike because it's a lot of work. So this would be the only way to do it. Plus it works out because we are going to paint all these plastic pieces back to black. So we need them off anyway. So we are going to take these all off and get these all situated. So this whole entire front end will be off. It's going to be crazy, but it's not that bad. I got zip bags all over the place, and there's some more parts over there. But sorry I didn't show this to you. It just kind of happened. And I got kind of carried away with it, but I will show videos of putting it back together and everything like that. So it's all in layers. You have to take it off in layers. Took the cover off the shield. We actually might get this shield maybe tint it, but we'll see how that goes. So let us get some more off and we'll come back. Okay guys, we are diving into this pretty hard. So we already got the light off. This is the reservoir, instrument panel's off, everything's over here. So we can take stuff off. We can check the lights, make sure the bulbs are good, which they are. Clean up these back sides. Maybe have to do a little plastic weld to get that to stay together maybe. We'll see how that goes, or I can use some bonding glue for the plastic to keep that together. Actually, that's probably not a bad idea. Get some plastic epoxy on some of these parts that are like plastic, and piece that back together so it'll stay hard and together. That's actually not a bad idea. But yeah, we are getting pretty good into this. It's not terrible, just got to make sure you do it in layers and watch what you're doing. This is almost off, so if we got to get this key thing off. There's like 2 little mounts that's holding that on there. There's these lights, so there's 2 mounts that's holding this plate. Then this is holding on, and then I think run these cables back out, and then after that, I think the only other thing left is the fuse box, which is right here. I'm not for sure. I guess there's a screw right there to get it out. That would be pretty nifty to get that out of there. Maybe this is the cigarette lighter. I wonder if there's a way that we can replace the cigarette lighter with a USB one. That would be pretty cool. And then that way we can switch power over, do it while we're in there. But we'll figure that out. Wasn't too terrible. Just like I said, it's in layers. Just have to make sure you do it all nice and good, and then everything is fine. So I don't want to ruin anything because everything works. I checked it before I had pulled everything off, so everything's working. I just want to get this plastic piece off. Like I said, if I can get this plastic piece off, we can, take a look at the tank and have more room to get to the motor, and then we'll start tearing the motor apart. This is the arm. So we're doing good. Doing good so far. Just got to get this off. Once we get this plastic piece off and this whole entire part off, man, we can dive into the rest of this stuff, and it'll work out perfect. So we'll continue moving forward, and then we'll be right back. So I think we made some good progress. It is completely torn. I think we've done good so far. I think we're going to stop right there. When we come back the next day, we will finish getting this centerpiece off. So we should be good. So we've got a lot, as you can see, we've gotten a lot going on here, and I'm super happy with where everything's going. It's a little dirty under here, so I'm kind of glad taking it off. I won't be able to get all of this stuff cleaned up, but it's all going to be covered anyway. But we'll do our best with the plastic. But all the rest of the stuff, there's not much we can do. We can re-get these back sprayed black and everything. But the rest of this is not much we can do. Maybe spray that while it's off and everything. We're going to leave the fenders on there. We're not taking the fenders off. The fenders are going to stay. Just want to get this part off so that way we can get inside closer to the motor, have access and room and stuff. So that's it for the day. We'll hit it again the next day. So let us go to the next day so we can finish this up. All right, guys, so it's the next couple of days. So we are back on the scooter. It's been another crazy half week this week. I'll explain that to you guys in another video. But let us get back on this. We are going to basically just check out the belt and the air box. And then we're probably going to take off the exhaust on this side and drain the oil and maybe the fluid. The transmission, or the radiator coolant fluid, because we need to get that taken apart. But we're going to start with those three things first. We're going to do we're going to check the belt, check the condition of the belt, and then we're going to check the condition of the air filter, get those boxes and stuff off the top. And here, I'll show you. So basically, we're going to open up this, check out the belt condition, open up the air box, check out the air box. Maybe we'll go ahead and try and take this part off. We're gonna go ahead and try maybe try to get this exhaust off. May go ahead and drain the oil and maybe the coolant, depending on what time that we have left. But I just want to check it out, see how it is, check the condition of the belt and the air filter, and then kind of go from there with what we're going to be doing. We're slowly trying to get to the motor because I did figure out that taking this apart is not going to work. It's holding down somewhere. Maybe it's being held down by the blue part or being held down by the tank somehow. I don't know, but it's not coming off. So instead of trying to take this whole entire piece off, which would have been a smart thing to do, I don't think we still would have had enough room to get to the piston, because right in this area, there's not a whole lot of room. And one of the main reasons why we got to pull this motor out is right in here, going from up here in this cover all the way down is the actual studs. The actual studs that everything is being bolted down to. It actually, when I was looking at it, it actually starts from this part of the motor going all the way up to here. So if we tried to slide this top part out, we wouldn't be able to. The gas sticks in the way and all this other stuff. So we gotta pull this motor out. So it may not be as bad as I thought. Just gotta get some components off, make sure that we know where everything goes back to, and then kind of go from there. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's first start getting down here and checking out this belt and air box. Okay guys, so we're gonna work on getting this off. So actually, let's get this off first. There's some screws on top that actually might be in the way, maybe. So there's some here, none on the bottom. And just here, and then here. So yeah, let's take it off and see what happens. It should fit. Yeah, let's just see. This is the right size. I don't think this is the right size. I think we got the wrong size. Let's go and get the right size. Okay guys, so now we're going to take these off. We got the right size. We got an 8mm screws. We're going to take this off. We're going to use the wrench hand tool just because we don't want to break these. So Okay. Alright, so start with these. They're all the same, they're all the same size. So, excuse the washer. Got the washer going, so hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Yeah, they all went in the same size. Alright. Let's cover off. Dude, nasty. So that was just the cover. Alright, that's new. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, so it's got a little cover on it. Now, bring it to the meat and potatoes. And looks like there might be some nuts under here. Yeah. So, wow. So this has got like a little screen thing on it. It's dirty. Glad we're getting into this thing. It's almost like we're doing maintenance checks on this as well as getting everything fixed. So this is like crazy. But nevertheless, we need to do it. So let's see, these are another 8s again. Yeah, they're 8s again. Got some down here. And then we got one in the way, the air box is in the way. So we'll pause and then we'll take out this air box. Sure still. There it is. Alright, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbolt this air box. So we're gonna unbolt the air box from the top and then unbolt. There's 2 bolts here just holding it down, and then we'll get it off the way and maybe we can crack it open that way. So let me get up and we'll get to the top. So we're gonna get this air box off. It's this right here. It's a little Phillips head, a couple of little hoses. So we'll loosen it from here. Off like so, and we're gonna get these. Actually, this actually might come up with it, so we got it uncoupled here, and then we got a couple of crimp lines. I think I can see if I can just pull this off by myself. Let me get my pliers. We got that line popped off, this is popped off, and this fender will come along with it. And then there's 2 bolts down there, so let's go back down there. Alright, so now we're going to get these 2 nuts off. They are, in fact, a 10 millimeter. So we'll take our wrench, crank this off. I almost broke it. I was about to break it. This is, see, actually, that's nice. Tight. These long bolts here. Alright. Okay. Then this should just come out. Oh, okay. So the fender is causing it not to come out. Alright, so now we're about to get this out. Here's the air box. I think it's a little thing off here because it has like a little spring on it, but take it to the side. Let's get down here. Alright, so a couple of threads on here. I'm going to put these back in here just so that we don't lose them. They're not in the way, so put them back on. So now we should be able to get to the actual cover. So we're going to use this. We're going to use the wrench again by hand, so we don't break the screws. So we don't have to tighten her on or whatever. So that was the first one. Second one. Third. Fourth. Fifth. One here. Been off in a while. One of the reasons why I'm taking this off is because I want to see the condition of the belt. If the condition of the belt's good, then we'll put it back on. We won't worry about it. But we will order one to have it. You know, we just want to see the condition of the belt. We got a little bit more life left. Do we don't? So just trying to see what it looks like, get an idea. Should be just like the 50cc one where it's just a belt piece in here, you know, the variator, all that stuff like that. Same kind of concept, just bigger. So same idea, same design, just on a bigger scale. It's not like a 150 or a 50cc. So this is a 250, so it is a lot bigger because this has got to go like highway speed. So I mean, this thing is rated for the highway, so it's going to be a lot bigger. So we're going to put this all back, whether we're going to, you know, just checking it out or whatever, but we're going to put it back on here because we don't need it. We don't need it off to do this. Well, we may leave it off because we still need to crank the crank to get the top dead center, so we probably will leave it off. And we'll just put it in the baggies and put it on back later. I can smell the belt because it smells kind of fishy. Alright. Make sure I don't have the same bolts. Nope. All the bolts are off. Just needs a little bit of a love tap. Give it a good pry. Wow, this has not been off in a while. Let me go get my mallet. Give it a good couple of love taps. Actually, because I also want to make sure this is going to spin too, so we got one. Wow, that is on there. Alright, let me get my mallet. kind of a good idea. We're checking all this anyway. She is not budging. It's been on here too long. Way too long. Yeah, she's been on here way too long. Let me get my crowbar. Well, hold on. Get somewhere. These are on there. Not for sure what's keeping it on there. I gotta be easy with it, but goodness gracious. Still not quite for sure what's holding it on. There's no nut. I think it just needs to be pried all the way around, I'm guessing. Whatever it is on there. Should just come right out. Alright, hold on, we're gonna figure this out. Alright guys, we're back. We got it off. It's just this piece in the center here was holding on to it. I think it's a bearing. Yeah, it's a bearing sitting on here. So it is definitely different. It's got this paper here. Motor turns good. Ow. It's still got the spark plug in it, so compression is a little stir, but alright, it seems pretty good. It's just got the piston in it, it's got the spark plug in there, so it's a little bit, it's, you know, if I took the spark plug out, it probably would give me better compression movement. But the belt looks pretty good. Let me get my light. So, the belt does look a little chewed up a little bit. But here, let me show you that. Okay, guys, so here's the clutch, just like normal 50cc. You got a clutch, belt, then you got your variator, which is massive variator. This is huge. But if you see right there, see that stuff in between the little rises? That's actually cracks. So think of it as your belt on your car. If you bend, so on the outside, so like this backside here, you would be looking at it on top. But then when you take the belt off and bend it, you start seeing those cracks. So those cracks are really bad. So you can see a little better. It feels like it's caked on stuff. That's not caked on stuff. It's actually cracks. You can see a nice good fine hairline crack. And then you can look at the variator. You can see the little inside sidewall. You can see how far it's actually gone. You can see the ring almost to the tip of the outside of it. So we definitely gonna have to get a new belt. It might be okay now. It's not tearing through. This looks like it's a pretty thick belt. So it actually might be okay enough to get us to let it start it, and then, you know, maybe order one later and then we can replace it. But it should be the same kind of consistency with like getting it off and on, just like on the other one. So you would get a tool, there's a tool. So like with this, there's a tool where you would stick it in the two here and hold it, then the nut. But if you got a good impact, you can just impact the nut right off, and that usually would take it off. And then the variator pieces, just like a 50cc, are inside that back part there. This is the clutch, which is a lot bigger, obviously, as it turns the wheel. So looks like it's pretty good though. Not like it's in terrible shape, just got to replace the belt, and it looks like we're all right. Like it's just sitting on that piece there and stuff. So a really thick belt, so it might actually be pretty good. So we're gonna leave this off because we need to, you know, turn it to get the when we start doing the motor teardown, we need to get this thing to top dead center. So we have to take the spark plug out and do all that stuff and get the top dead center. So we're gonna leave this off until we get until it's, you know, time to do the motor. So we're gonna leave this off, and now we're just gonna open up this air box and see what this air box looks like. And then we'll go do the other side. All right, guys. So now we're gonna take this air box off to see what the condition is. Just some Phillips head screws. So we'll just take our Phillips head screwdriver. I'm just gonna take them out. I want to see the condition of it. It's a good idea to check all this stuff out because this thing has been sitting for a couple of months. The guy was telling me he hadn't ridden it in a couple of months since the bike had stopped running. So it's a good idea to check all this stuff out. One is a good thing to check it so that way if we need to get stuff, we know what we need to get, what we need to order. If it's good, then it's good. Like this belt might be okay enough, but we may have to order another one just in case. So I just want to see the condition of this gearbox. All right, and it's got a little thing on the front. Looks like it's kind of like a reusable kind. So we'll take these screws off here. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. So we'll take these off just so we can see what it looks like on the other side. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Oh, that don't look too bad. Oh wow, look at that. It's like a metal filter thing with it housed in here, and this looks like it comes off in, oh, it comes off in layers. This comes off in layers. So wow, that's interesting. Okay, so we may have to eventually invest in a new filter too, just for good, you know, reuse. This is OEM. You can even tell because it's even got the SYM stamped on there, and it's even got the number for 349. I think that's the number for it. But that's crazy. It's like a metal box, like a plastic casing with metal on this side, and then it's like foam here. Like you could actually replace this if you wanted to in between. So you could probably go get some more of this like filter. It's like filter foam. You could get it, probably cut it out and you stuff it right back in there if you really wanted to. So kind of like a reusable. You just pull this off, and then you pull this off. So it's got 2 layers. So you got a layer here, and you got a layer inside. So you just keep pulling the layers off. It's got this little paper thing in between it. So you could possibly just get this foam filter stuff, get it cut and stuff it right back in there. But they do sell a whole replacement filter that's different. Looks like a K&N filter, but we may do that down the road. But we'll go ahead and put this back together, and then we'll go on the other side, and we'll probably go ahead and drain that oil and get that fluid out, or we may take off the exhaust, one of the two. We probably maybe go ahead and take the exhaust off because that doesn't need to come off. And that way we can see what we need to do to get this motor out, because it's really not that hard. It's only being held by this bolt right here. This bolt right here goes all the way through to the other side, just like a normal GY6 150 or you know, top mounted motor. So it's just one big bolt that's going across, and once you get that bolt, it just drops, and then it's being held by these shocks. So this one's holding the actual motor, and this, if you did that, the whole entire thing would come out. But there's another shock on the other side that's holding up the, it's almost like a control arm. So there's a control arm on the other side, and then this is just the motor. This motor goes like an L. So it goes this way and an in, and then it stops right about here. So that's the motor, and then there's a control arm on the other side that the shock's holding on to. So if we get these two back shocks off, and then get this bolt out, the motor should just come right on out. So without taking all the hoses and the everything off, we gotta take the brake caliper off. So we got to do that as well. So once we do that, then I think we'll go ahead and drain before we take all this off, I think then we'll go ahead and drain the oil and then start tearing apart the motor and then go from there. So yeah, let us go ahead and get on the other side and see what the exhaust and stuff looks like. Maybe we can get it off, and then we'll maybe stop right there. So I'm gonna put this air box back together, and then we'll get on the other side. Okay guys, so now we're under the belly of this. So basically this is the cover. You can kind of see it. This is the cover. It's like the tank's right here, and then there's a bracket holding it. So if we needed to drop the tank, we would be able to. There's actually there's a nut right under here, this bracket, and then there's a nut right here up top that you just do, and then I think the whole entire gas tank would come down. But we're probably gonna leave that in there for right now. I don't think we need to take that out just yet, but we'll get this cover off on the other side. But I just wanted to take a little peek look at it. Plus, it's, you see this residue right here? This is from the coolant line. This is the coolant line coming from the radiator going into the top of the motor. So it is leaking a little bit. So when we drain the fluid, which is actually, this is the actual pump. This is the radiator pump. So, and then I believe this thing has a, right under here, this thing actually has a bleeding tool. So we actually can bleed out the radiator fluid before we actually take this apart. Because when we take this apart, there's still some fluid in there. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough to make it spill. And then obviously this is the oil. Then this right here, you can open this up and we can get to the top dead center, turn it, and then leave it where it is, and then we can fix everything. So that would be actually kind of good. But I don't want to open it up because I think it's full of oil. So I want to drain the oil out first before I mess with any of this and the fluid. But we do need to get this exhaust out. It's really quite simple. The normal way. There's two bolts up in the manifold. Then there's it's only being held in by a bolt here and a bolt here, and then it comes right out. So we're gonna take this off, and then this is the actual like, not really a sway arm, it's a bracket. It's a bracket arm that this shock is holding on to, and then this. But I think we can leave this on because it's still part of the motor, so it'll actually keep the wheel together. So all we're really gonna do is we're gonna get this exhaust off. We're gonna unbolt the shock from down here. We're gonna unbolt the caliper from the actual mount. There's two bolts here it's mounted to. Get it off the brake, and then unmount the mounting lines and get it forward. So that way when all we gotta do then is just get all the electrical lines, the coolant lines all off and out of our way. And then once we do that, once we get that big bolt out, this whole entire motor will come right out. So it's not terrible, but the thing is, the difference is that this thing is huge. This is a bigger motor, where the other one was still big motor, but this is a bigger motor. So I'm gonna have to use the jack to assist me when I unbolt it, and then when I pull it out, it should be perfect. So so that's gonna be a nice good challenge that we're gonna have to do, but we're not there yet. So we will definitely get there, and then we gotta do the throttle body and the gas line and everything, so we can get this motor out and tear it apart, at least the top part, and then it will be good. Then we can start, you know, putting it back together, and then, you know, and then we should be all right, and then we just everything goes back in reverse. So it's really quite simple, as long as nothing breaks, like these exhaust pulls. As long as the exhaust pulls don't break, we should be good. But we're kind of rusty, so we may have to put some penetrating fluid on there so we don't strip these, because if we strip these heads, these bolt heads on this thing, then we're gonna have to replace the whole entire head, which is not going to be fun. So let me see if I have enough penetrating fluid. We may have to let it sit overnight and then try it in on the next video. So let me see if I can find some, and then we will come right back. Alright, I found some penetrating fluid, so we're gonna try and get these bolts sprayed. Sorry you guys can't see because it's really tight. Alright, we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes while we get our bolts. Oops. Alright, so let's see what kind of bolt we got here. Looks like we got a winner. Looks like it's a 12. See if it's an 11. It's not 11. It's 12. Alright. So, we're going to try and do this by hand. If not, we may have to use the impact, but I want to try it by hand so we don't destroy them. If we can get them loose by hand, then we'll be alright. So, here we go. Oh well, that's nice the first try. How about the other one? Oh yeah, we're good. That wasn't rough at all. Love it when they come out so easy. That was so simple, it wasn't even funny. It just came right out. Oh, I see why. The stud's coming out with it, but it's okay. I think that's fine. They're rusted. That's the reason why they're coming out so easy. It's okay. We can they're supposed to come out without them, but they're supposed to come out with the stud sticking in them, but the actual things are so rusted on there. I doubt we were gonna get that. We may actually have to see if we can buy some more of these, because those are rusted. They're not supposed to come off. But you could still reuse them. You just have to tap them back on, and then the threads will just come out with it. That's all. So technically, it wouldn't be too bad. Well, actually, this one came out with a cap. So one end came out with the stud, and the other one came out with the cap. So, well, at least you got a guider. That's kind of cool. All right, so now we're gonna take this thing off. Sauce. Well, actually, probably the same size for sure. Oh, it's probably a little bigger. Probably 13. A little bigger than 13. So probably 14. No, I gotta go get my bigger kit. Let us go get our bigger kit get this exhaust off. Yeah, 14 was it. So 14 bolt was the one to get it off. Well, that's in there. All right. Yeah, it's being held in there by tapping it out. In there. Huh. Well, I need you to come out. Otherwise, is there another bolt? Oh, there's another bolt. I didn't see that one. So there's 3 bolts. Sometimes when in doubt, get down a little lower. Yeah, see, there it goes. Almost there. Almost there. They're just really, really, really long bolts. Here comes the exhaust. Alrighty. Pull the. Wow. Oh boy. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, okay, looks like it has some kind of gasket seal in there. Hopefully we'll be able to find another one of those. It's like a metal ring type of thing that went in there, so we'll have to get that replaced. So yeah, all right, something else we'll have to put on the list. But now you can see this other part of the side, and you can see how we could literally leave it on. So if we took this shock off, took that shock off, took this caliper off of the brackets right here, take the bracket off and slide it up out of the way, unbolt it, reroute it, get it up out of the way. Then once we start tearing all the rest of the electrical and everything, all the stuff out, and get this bolt out, this motor comes right out. So I'm gonna leave this on and just take this caliper off, take this off, and then get all the rest of the accessories off, and this thing will come right out, and then we'll be good to go. We'll be able to go ahead and start really ripping into this. Like I said, before we do that though, before we get all of it out, we're gonna take these two, we're gonna drain the oil, and we're gonna drain the radiator fluid. Then we're gonna have to refill it and all that stuff like that too. But we can do that when the hurdle comes later. And then she would get access to the motor, and then we can show the inside and show you what it looks like. And then we'll go from there. Replacing it, putting it back together. Hopefully everything else is perfect, and oil doesn't have any metal flakes and stuff in it, which we're gonna drain it all out. And then should be good to go. So making good progress. Alright guys, well as you see, we have made some major progress. All the exhaust is off. If you come over here, we got the cover off for the belt and variator and the clutch. We're going to use it to help us do the top dead center and everything. Got the air box and going to the throttle body off. Is not that much more left. It's just making sure we get all this plumbing and stuff off and drained and everything. And then really and honestly, it's just getting this brake caliper and these lines up and over. If we can just get it to about like right here, we can just bend it and then get it out of the way. Then we're going to take this off from here, get the gas line off, and then just lay it over there. We're not going to take this off because we want to mess with the settings, so we're just going to take it and fold it out of the way, lift it up and let it hang, so that way we can start working on the rest of this stuff. Get all these harnesses disconnected so we can make sure that when we pull the motor out, it's just this top part, everything going back out. Then all we got is just one big nut that goes bolt that goes across here holding down. Put a jack under it to help take up the slack and weight. Take it off, boom, come out. Everything is coming out. We'll take it all apart. So guys, that's it. We are definitely on a roll. We are working. We're getting it going. The motor is the major culprit. We can get that taken care of and get it back in there and get it all bolted up, then everything else will just come back together. So this is the major part, getting this motor refixed, pulling it out, putting it back together, getting it back in there, getting everything bolted up. So basically we are going to be going in reverse of what we've done. So we've torn apart everything up here, then we switched over to here. So right now we're focusing on the motor, getting it out, getting it refixed, getting it back in. Once that's back in, everything's bolted up from the motor and the fluid and lines and stuff like that, then we're jumping back onto the front. And then we get everything all painted, and we should be good to go. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly hope you guys like this stuff. If you do, please give me a thumbs up, like, and comment. If you have one of these SYM RV250s, let me know if there's something that I'm missing, something that I need to know, something that will help improve it. Please put it in the comments. But if this is something that you guys have not seen before. Hopefully this will be a first for you guys. So definitely a lot of the videos I've seen are, you know, overseas. So hopefully I'll be able to help you guys with more information. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I'll see you in the next fix. Until then,